Hey guys, Dave here. I got all three of my tests for the week done. Got another one next week, but I thought I would go ahead and do a review, maybe two today. This one is one I've had ready for a week or two. I've been wearing it a lot, and you guys know how much I care for it. And this is Bond No. 9's new Haarlem. Came out back in 2003. The perfumer, as you probably know, is Maurice Roucel. One of my personal favorite perfumers. Has done a lot of stuff. Also did Riverside Drive for Bond No. 9, Gourmand, Frederic Malle Musc Ravageur, as well as quite a few other things that I'm a fan of. As far as notes, we have a top of lavender, bergamot, and green leaves, made of coffee, cedarwood, and patchouli, and a base of amber, vanilla, and tonka. That's kind of combining notes from Bond's website. Only lists 3. Fragrantica and base notes are a little different. I just kind of went with a combination of all of them. As far as bottle sizes, you have 2. The 1.7 will run you anywhere from around 90 to 150, and a 3.4 anywhere from 140 to 220. You can get a much better deal if you're able to find a tester, but they're very hard to find. As far as classification, I would say that it is a gourmand. To me, it's more of a coffee gourmand. First sniff up top, right on top, it starts out sweet, syrupy with coffee and a hint of citrus. To me, the top's mostly the coffee and a sweet honey syrup type of smell that I personally find gorgeous. I do get a bit of florals and greens in the top as well, and it can be a little bit sharp at first. The top on me doesn't last all that long, and it transitions into the mid pretty quickly. The coffee in this scent is very smooth. It's not really raw or sharp, which I think is part of the reason I care for this so much. The mid is when this thing really starts to shine, in my opinion. I get coffee and like a caramelized maple syrup. I also get the vanilla, the cedarwood, and patchouli in the mid. It smells to me mostly like a coffee shop that also serves pancakes. I get the aroma of the coffee, caramel, vanilla, and maple syrup. The patchouli and the cedarwood, I believe, balance it out very well and keep it from getting too sweet or cloying, which is part of the reason that it is so good in my opinion. The dry down on me is just wonderful. I get the sweet vanilla tonka, I still get the maple syrup and the coffee. I find the cedar and the patchouli are more in play in the dry down. This gives it such an amazing balance. While it's still definitely a gourmand, it shies away from getting really uber sweet. This balance is what makes this one so special. As if it was just pure sweetness, I don't think I would like it as much, and I think it would get really cloying. I would say that this is best for romantic use, but I can see it worn for anything. I personally wear it for whatever. As far as what women say, women do really like this one. It's one of the few that my mother has complimented me on. She's very picky when it comes to cologne, and this is one of, I think, 4 or 5 out of my collection that she actually complimented me on without me asking what she thought of it. Women do definitely find it sexy, and it can be worn by women as well, as it is a unisex scent, but most of the women that I've asked really liked it. As far as age, I would say 20 and up. It does have a youthful vibe, but it also has a more mature vibe, so I'm just going to say 20 and up. Number of sprays, I do 3. This stuff is very potent. It's an eau de parfum. I get a lot of projection and longevity. If you have issues with your skin where you don't get much longevity or projection, you could do more, but I wouldn't recommend doing more than 3. As far as who would like this, I think if you love gourmands, coffee, vanilla, caramel, syrup, or cedar, you'll probably really like this one. As far as why you would hate it, I think if you hate gourmands, coffee, vanilla, patchouli, or cedar, I would avoid this one as these are the most dominant notes. It definitely is a sweet scent. It's very rich, almost creamy, syrupy. If that doesn't sound wonderful to you, then you may not like this. As far as bottles, I would say Gourmand, also done by Maurice Roucel. They're somewhat similar, but there's quite a bit of difference between them in my opinion. Also Armani Attitude, I'll say Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male, and also L'Olita Olympica's Eau Masculine. What do I think of when I wear this? Sitting in a cafe eating pancakes covered in maple syrup and caramel, drinking a cup of freshly brewed coffee. As far as ratings, overall smell, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. To me, this one is just perfection in terms of smell. It's so well balanced and blended, and I absolutely love this one. Projection, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. It projects pretty damn well. It jumps out pretty far, but not quite enough to get a 10, but it does project very, very well. As far as longevity, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I get 10 plus hours with this one easily. Average probably around 12 or so, which is very, very good. As far as uniqueness, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Personally, I find it very unique. There are other coffee fragrances out there, but none that I find nearly as good as this one. As far as versatility, this is where it's going to get the lowest mark. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think this would be awful in hot weather, personally. It's really only good for fall and winter and cooler weather, but I can see it worn for most occasions during colder weather. Overall rating, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I find this one to be a masterpiece of perfumery by Maurice Roucel. It's just a wonderful blend and one of the few niche fragrances that I own that I find is worth the price. As far as buy, try, or pass, I would say that this is an absolute must try. I would say buy, but I don't think that everyone is going to love this. So I think it's a must try. If you can get your hands on a sample, then that is what I would recommend doing. So that is my review of Bond No. 9's new Haarlem. It's one of my personal favorite scents right now, and it's definitely recommended. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and please rate, comment, and subscribe.